All right, welcome back to week 4 of Pooley's Picks. This week we're going to dive into the 2016 PSA Prep School Showcase. It is our first time touching on an actual event, and hopefully over the next couple of weeks we'll be diving into a couple different events, some of the hoop group events going on, and some of the events that we have an opportunity to travel. Thank God Austin is not back this week. We bring Steve back. Really got a lot of complaints last week with having Austin on camera, so don't worry, we brought Steve Keller back.
You'll get more complaints this week if he's on camera, just so you know.
So we got Steve Keller back from the National Recruiting Report. And Steve, this week, because we're covering an event, we're not really going to do dissenting opinions. We're more just going to kind of talk about the event and some of the things that stood out to you. We covered a couple of the top guys, a couple of the coaches that were there at the venue. What were some of the things that stood out to you?
Well, I think two big men I don't believe you talked about were Bryce Golden from the St. James School in Maryland. He's got size, 6'9", he's got good strength. His hands and feet are tremendous. And he is a quiet assassin. He just does the job all the time. He's always in the right places. He's not as athletic as some other big men that were there, but he still matches up with them and does every bit as well. And I think he had a very good day. And then the other one that was the bit of a surprise is Tim Perry Jr. Was at Cherry Hill East in South Jersey, and now he's over at the Phelps School. And Tim's father is Tim Perry Sr., obviously, who played for the John Chaney at Temple and went on to have a significant NBA career. And the son has a lot of talent, but has never really been productive enough. And it seems like this move over to the Phelps School, this was the best I ever saw him play. And there were clearly Division I coaches in the building that he was not on their radar, and they didn't really know much about him. And now they were surprised. And a lot of people, I think, were surprised at how well he played.
Tim's the type of kid that definitely can benefit from that extra year. Coach Shanahan does a good job developing, those big guys that he's gotten there over the years. And yeah, I agree. I think Tim is a kid that a lot of Division I schools need to start taking notice of if they haven't already. I think that was a great venue for him. A lot of Division I college schools that were there watching him play throughout the course of the day, but especially for those last couple games. And for Bryce, yeah, he wasn't in the 10 things I noticed. I disagree. I don't think he had the best game. I know he's got a lot of potential. I really like the way he moves with and without the ball.
Yeah.
Played out to like 16, 17 feet, drove it a little bit. Not a lot of spots for him to put the ball in the hoop going against Mo Bamba, though.
No, but he did have a couple, and the couple he had were showed what he could do. One time he sealed Bamba and then faked and then reversed on him, and I thought it was an outstanding play. And like I said, everybody's talking about Mo Bamba and saying he may end up being the #1 draft pick in another year, and yet this kid battled him the whole way, and I was impressed.
He's excellent. Bryce, obviously the brother of Grant Golden. Grant, a hoop group alum. Now at Richmond, was a really good player, played with Virginia Elite, Coach Thomas Gadsden, and we expect a lot of good things from Bryce.
Yeah.
What did you think overall about the event, Steve?
Well, the event was a little more competitive than I thought it was going to be, even though some scores ended up going out to 20 points. I thought the coaches did a great job. I thought the intensity was well. Yeah, there were two 20-point losses. Phelps lost by 20 to. And
Phelps lost to Putnam Science.
Putnam Science. And Putnam
That was a few days ago. No one expects you to remember that.
Phelps lost.
That's why they wrote it down. If you want to look at it, you can.
No, I didn't. Oh, yeah, they did write it down.
Wow, look at that.
Peanut Gallery this weekend, by the way.
Phelps lost to Putnam Science, and they lost by 20. But I think every time that Putnam looked like they were going to go on a 10-0 run, Brian called a timeout. He got his kids settled. And they were, even though it was a 20-point game, they were competitive with him. And the same thing I can say about Isaiah Christopher, who came over, and that's a prep school that's just in its infancy in Atlantic City. And Alan Ragland's team ended up getting beat by 20. But again, I thought he had control of his kids a lot. And so I was impressed with that. And then there's a lot of talk about how talented Westtown is. And we know they got Bamba, they got Randolph, they got Reddish, they got Ochafu, they got 5
Jake
tremendous
Forrester
kid. Yeah, and Forrester. They don't really have a point guard, I believe, in that crowd. And again, this time I thought those kids played the best together.
Yeah, I heard you say that yesterday too.
You guys keep trying to make.
They do have a point guard in that crowd.
and
His
that
name's
is-
Cam Reddish.
Yeah,
and he's still developing into that position, but he's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I think 5 or 6 years from now, when we're watching him on ESPN and CBS, a lot of the guys in the office are going to be calling you and texting you from their Division I coaching jobs, saying, "Are you sure he's not a point guard?"
My statement will be, we can put it up on the wall like we do.
Oh, we will.
He will not play point guard in college. Won't play that position.
What about in the
college.
NBA?
The NBA is a run up and down. The guys that play point guard are just the guy that happens to get the ball and dribble over half court before somebody takes a shot. Point guard. Everybody plays point guard in the NBA.
All right. Thanks, Steve. It was another great week, a great weekend, a great event. So we had a lot of fun at the 2016 PSA Prep School Showcase, and we look forward to coming back to you next week with another installment of Pooley's Picks. Big guy.
Thank you.